it has just been an absolute pleasure. You saw for yourself how incredibly capable these vehicles are.
But it's all about skills. If you have your skills to control your bike, you will control your bike. And this is valid for young ones, old ones, babies.
Even though you know what you're doing, because of the fear, it's like there's this blackout. It's like you doubt yourself.
I think I want to become a spray painter. A lot of vertel maar sy elke net self van my. Dan Moonwalker, Dune Walk. Richard, môre my broer.
Francois,
I was in the dunes.
I was in the dunes.
I was in the dunes, and that's one of the nice stories we're going to share with our viewers.
Yeah, Francois, you were at the dunes. You had the opportunity to drive around and play around with the Suzuki. And I know the guy Justin that you...
Yeah, Justin the toy.
It's such an awesome personality. Eh?
Yeah, but that guy doesn't get into Suzuki. He dresses it like a jacket.
Puts it on.
Yeah, he puts it on like a jacket and then he drives all over. And I had the privilege to go onto the dune trip. And it was a conservation area. It's part of our national parks, Richard. And I think one thing that came out to me, the beauty of Namibia, it offers a lot, but what is important to me is let us respect our environment.
Yeah.
Going up to Sandwich Harbour, you need permits. Get your permits. Don't drive everywhere. It is an ecological, very sensitive area, and we really need to take care of that. And I think I missed you. Huh? I really missed you.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so sweet.
I'm so sweet. Huh?
I didn't miss you.
Yeah,
but
I know that.
I'm joking. Let's cross over and we see what Francois and Justin and the guys did when they were playing around in the dunes with their Suzuki.
Jimmy.
Okay, thank you very much for calling Suzuki Safaris. Justin here, and okay, just checking up in a trip. No worries, we've got some absolutely awesome things planned for you guys. So I'm not going to reveal too much from you, or to you rather. So I'll give you a call back. Cheers. Well, today we find ourselves here at Quanicontas, this absolutely beautiful oasis in the heart of the Swakopmund River. I mean, driving through the moon-type landscapes, through these dramatic mountains, and then you just arrive at this oasis that is so rich in history. I mean, it's really nice mixing things up, and that's one of the things to look forward to on the Suzuki Safaris as well. It's not just off-roading, it's not just camping, it's not just being off-grid. It's something for everyone, and we try our best to combine as much of these wonderful things as we possibly can.
And as I promised our viewers quite a time ago, we're going to take you to a very unique trip into the Namib Desert, in specific the Namib Noukloof Park. Before introducing Justin, remember it's a national park. There are rules, there are regulations. The most important part, do not litter, get your permit and make sure that you stick to the park rules. Justin, welcome in Namibia.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
It is absolutely awesome being here.
And it's something different, eh?
It is something different. I mean, we like to think we're fairly well-traveled people. I mean, we've just about everything underneath the equator we've been and we've seen, and I mean, it just speaks for itself.
Now listen to this, fairly well-traveled, traveling 77,000 kilometers in 1 year with Suzukis. Fairly, come on, don't be humble.
I mean, well, I guess you could say, well, a little bit more than fairly, I guess.
All right, yeah.
And I mean, it has just been an absolute pleasure. You saw for yourself how incredibly capable these vehicles are. But then again, it's not about the challenge. It's not about, you know, the egotistical dune driving, you know.
Yes.
It's about using our vehicles as tools for exploration, doing it safely, comfortably, with time to be able to enjoy these things. I mean, can you imagine how horrible it will look if there were just donuts and tire tracks everywhere? We have to do our part to keep things, you know, pristine for the next generation.
So I sense conservation in you.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yes, we try our absolute best. Now, I'm not saying be a geek. I'm not saying don't enjoy your vehicle, but I mean, there's a time and a place for it. And the time's not now and the place is not here.
Oh, yeah, so there you have it. Now, as a stubborn, staunch Namibian, I believe in big 4x4s, and I had the opportunity to join them with a Suzuki. I actually got myself a Suzuki for this specific trip. I had my doubts, to be frank with you. Wrong. Francois, you were wrong. Why do you guys use Suzukis?
I mean, it is actually a really interesting story how we came apart with the Suzuki Safari concept. I mean, before that, we were in exactly the same boat. I mean, we've had Land Cruisers, Defenders, Hiluxes, you name it. Then COVID hit, and obviously, as being a small business, we were hit by it quite hard, and we had to think, okay, now fuel efficiency. And one day we happened upon, what about a Jimny? And did a bit of homework, well, actually a lot of homework, many late nights doing our research, and I could not find a single red flag on the vehicles. Then we came about to, I spoke to my dad about it, obviously him and myself being partners in the business, and his words to me were, if I fit in it, I'll consider it. And my dad's not the smallest guy out there. So,
do you think Dad will pose for us in his car?
Of course.
I will ask Dad, because then you're going to see.
Sorry,
as hy nie kar sit, dan sit hy om stofdig. Dit het ek verneem. But this is a nice thing about Namibians. We love what we do.
Exactly. And I mean, as soon as we took it for the very first test drive, we literally drove it 300 meters and ordered one. Then, about a month later, took delivery of ours, that exact white one I'm driving now. We took delivery about 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. 5 o'clock the next Saturday morning, we headed to the Kalahari with its first about 4,000 kilometer trip, and it just blew us away, absolutely. And the only thing that went through our minds is, listen, people want to experience these kind of things, and you do not need a 1.5 million rand 4x4 to do these incredible things. We firm believers in the KISS concept. Keep it simple, stupid. I mean, these vehicles, I wouldn't say they're basic. They're filled with their creature comforts, but then they just work. And then the fuel efficiency and the comfort that these vehicles add to. I mean, we spent all day driving in the dunes yesterday, and we got an average consumption of 8.8 kilometers to the liter. That's not bad at all.
Look at that. I mean, I can speak out of experience, because myself got a big double cab bakkie, and I can tell you that is not the figures I always bring home.
No. And soos ons nou in Namibia sal sê, the only way to get a better fuel consumption in a Land Cruiser than 7 kilometers a litre is to lie about it. And
there's always the sense of cost. So
it's always
cost. Otherwise you're going to miss out in life.
I mean, of course. I mean, we haze each other quite often, in between brands, but at the end of the day, I mean, as long as everybody does it, everybody enjoys it. And that's where we came about with the Suzuki Safari concept. We keep things family friendly, eco-friendly. It's about the enjoyment, about the experience, not just a, jaag en kom ons gaan kyk na goeders. We want to take our time, we want to do things properly, and then the accessibility that these vehicles grant you to be able to enjoy these things is just unparalleled.
I can testify to that. We actually went up the dunes, as you can see in this footage on the screen right now. But in the beginning I had a bit of a mishap, because I'm used to much bigger wheel-base vehicles, longer wheelbase, and all of a sudden there's this Katiti. We all know the word small kariki, and I was a bit, not hesitant, I didn't know what to expect, and all of a sudden once I got, as they say, the gist, it happens.
It just happens. And I mean, these vehicles being as light as they are, they only weigh 1.1 tons. If you deflate your tires, they literally drive on top of the sand. As you would know. I mean, they're just mind-blowing.
Awesome, there you have it. Some advice from your side. Going off-road, what is the safety that you say? Stick to that.
Okay, stick to the basic safety principles. Firstly, lights and belts. I mean, put your lights on in your vehicle, make sure you're visible to everybody else around you. Safety belts, they're in your vehicle for a reason. They will save your life. Believe me, you do not want to have a mishap and not have one off. Secondly, reduce your tire pressures. We elongate our tire treads. You increase your contact surface from your tire to the environment. You've got a lot softer footprint on the environment themselves. With those two basic things, you can do a lot of. Then also, you frequently speak about the Oaks. Yeah, I can do it in my four-wheel drive with just two-wheel drive and diff locks.
Yeah.
If you've got the resources, use it.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier on yourself, on your vehicle, and on the environment.
Quite recently said, you don't have to use all the kilowatts in your engine, and I know that many people say, I've got a 150 kilowatt engine and so many torque, and you don't need that all.
You don't, really, especially in these dune driving scenarios. I mean, if you go the full Monty, give it all it's got. If something goes wrong, it just goes wrong that more spectacularly.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing we want.
Yeah.
I mean, driving up those little dunes we did, I mean, you can easily just put it in third or fourth gear low range and hammer the absolute hell out of it. You do not need to. That's where correct tire pressures, correct gearing comes into play. If you'd want those dunes, we could quite easily have idled them out.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got to have a little bit of excitement as well, but you don't need all that. It's always the number one concept to off-road driving is as slow as possible, as fast as necessary.
You actually read my words, my question. Thank you very much. There you have it. And if you're on the roads, please drive safely, especially in the dunes, off-road conditions, up the mountains, down the mountains. Following distance is also important. Make sure that you communicate with the person in front. If he is up safe, then you can follow. Do not try to tailgate him. You're gonna get a bit of an unpleasant surprise. Stay with us after this. Another interesting insight on Cars and Guests for One Africa Television. And what an honor. Sandwich Harbour.
It is absolutely fantastic, Francois.
But we'll wish you again before we let you go. We'll wish you again. So there you have it. And we're going to join him again. And who knows, you will be another guest on Cars and Guests till our next show. Stay with us.